A very good evening, dear Pantomats. I'm Panchali, your mentor. Hope you guys are doing fine and utilizing this lockdown time to bring out the best in you. Well, without wasting your time, I'll tell you what I'm going to do today. Today, I will take up notice writing from the writing skills section. I hope most of you know what notice writing is. Most of the students say it is the easiest. Yes, of course it is. But when it comes to writing one, they do get confused. So let me start with the topic, and I will also discuss the common mistakes that students often make. Before discussing what notice writing is, let us see what is the marking scheme. The marking scheme is right in front of you if you look at the slide. It is 1 mark for format, 2 marks for the content, and 1 mark again for your expression, which includes grammatical accuracy and your spellings. So it's a total of 4 marks. Now, the definition of notice is right in front of you. Now, I see the student often get confused with this word notice, whether to write it at the very beginning or after the heading. If you see, most of the notices that you come across in your daily life, the word notice is written on top. And that is written on top because those notices are issued by some governing body or by the government. But the notice that you have in your syllabus, that is not a government notice. It is a notice for your school or something related to your school, which is in your CBSE syllabus. So here the word notice will never ever be written on top. Here the tone would be completely formal and the notice has to be factual and to the point. So, after the definition, let us see what are the things that are required when we draft a notice. A notice should contain the following: name of the organization, institution, or society on the top. That is the name of your school. You give a comma and you can name your city. Next comes the date of issuing the notice. That is the date on which the notice has been issued. Next, the word heading. Heading means the word notice will always be written in bold. After that, the subject. The subject will change every time. It would be according to your question. It's a swimming competition, an art competition, it's a blood donation camp, anything. In the content, day, date, time, place, program. These are mandatory if the notice is for an event. Else, again, the content will also change as per the question. The sixth point is important. Signature, name, and designation of the issuing authority. Most of the students do forget to miss out on the signature or at times on the designation. You have to write all the three: the signature, name, and designation, and in the same sequence as it is written in point number 6. Do not exceed the word limit of 50 words. The notice has to be written in 50 words, and this 50 words will not include your articles and determiners like a, the, and. Do not forget to make the box. Now this is something which is again a major mistake. Every time students tend to write everything correct and they do not make the box. If you do not make the box, you lose marks on the format part. Now, moving on to the guidelines. How you should draft a notice. Make a rough draft. Whatever you want to write, make a rough draft of it. Jot down the value points that you want to include in the notice. In your answer sheet at the back, you have those rough pages. You can do this work there. Make sure that you have not left out the relevant and significant point of information. Make a fair draft within the prescribed word limit. Once you have made the rough draft, you're sure you have mentioned all the relevant and significant points, then you can fair it out. Now, let us look at the format. As discussed, name of the organization or the school on top. I've made the box if you can see there. And then the name of the organization is written. Then you mention the date on the left hand side. Name of the organization can be mentioned in bold or in running handwriting. That's your wish. But the word notice always has to be in capital letters, all capital and bold. Just below that, we have the subject, where you write whether it's a swimming competition, art competition, it's a information or request to join something, you would write it in the subject. Now the common mistake here is students write subject, give a hyphen, and then write what it is. Do not write this word subject. That is not required. You can straight away write whatever it is. Then we move on to the content. The content would be not more than 50 words without the articles and determiners. In the closing section, again, I have written signature, name, and designation. Same sequence. You will not change the sequence. Now, most of the time, the students have a query that the designation was not given. In that case, what you need to do is, if you are drafting the notice for your school, whatever class you are in, whichever class you are studying in, you will mention that. Suppose you have signed and you have written your name as ABC and you are studying in class 11th A. So in the designation, you'll just mention 11th A within bracket. Else, if the designation is given in your question, you can write that. Now, just let us go ahead and, look at a sample question so that we understand this better. Just go through the question once and then I'll explain you the answer part. I hope you have read the question. Now, if you see in the question, they have not mentioned what is the name of the organization. So here we can give any hypothetical name or anything of our choice. So we can write ABC, comma, and the name of the city. So here I have written Janta Association House, Delhi. Next comes the word notice, which is in bold. On the left hand side, we have the date and the subject is found. So I have not written subject hyphen found. I've just written found. So that is how we are supposed to write. Now, look at the content. The first few words are very important and you are going to start all your notice with this word. This is to inform all the students, readers or residents, whatever you are writing as per your question. So this is to inform all. Till here, it will always remain the same. Here I have written, this is to inform all the readers that a plastic bag has been found in the neighborhood park. It has a few documents and some cash in it. The plastic bag is red in color and is medium sized. It was found on February 27th at around 6 p.m. near the fountain in the park. The owner of the bag shall contact me on my given number along with an identity proof. Now here, if you see, it is not an event. So I'm not very much mentioning date, time, place in a sequence. But yes, I have mentioned the date and the time when this item was found. So that is what is to be mentioned. Coming to the closing part, I have the signature, the name of the person. You'll either write Amar if you're a boy, and if you're a girl, you write Amrita, and then you sign it. Then you write your designation, that is secretary. Though the designation is not given in the question, I have just written an hypothetical thing there. You can also do that. Now, I hope you have understood this sample question and also understood the format. I would conclude by repeating what are the common mistakes once again. First of all, we do not write the word notice on top. We would write the name of the organization. We will not forget to make a box. The closing will always be in the same sequence of signature, name, and designation. The word limit has to be 50 words, excluding the articles and determiners. Hope I have been able to resolve your doubts and I have explained myself. Now, in case there are some doubts still, you can write it in the comment section and I will revert in 24 to 48 hours. Thank you for being with me. Have a great day. Bye-bye.